Good afternoon, and welcome to another Super Secret Project sketch. This is Eric Whalen from Super Secret Project X, and today I have had a long week, and I am not terribly focused. So, we're gonna do the thing. We're gonna do the thing right now. Swear to God, I'm not drunk or on something. I'm just it's just been a week. All right. Today, because we have been watching a buttload of DuckTales.
Finally,
Oh,
finally finished the first and second season, and now waiting for the third season to come up on streaming here.
it's been so much fun. I mean, I was the generation we were, but I was a DuckTales kid, along with other stuff, but DuckTales kid. And I gotta say, this new version of DuckTales is so much better. You know, than the original. And it's nothing against the original. It's just this one, they're just doing so much good stuff in it, and I'm just having so much fun. And yeah, I gotta say, I thought Lena was a great character. Super fun, punky, snide, little cute, tough magic chick, and I just loved her. And she was a great contrast for Webby. So those two being friends is like really great because there's a little bit of an age difference. There's a personality difference. They're like, chocolate and peanut butter, I guess. They just, they're two flavors that are great that go great together. Blah blah blah. But yeah, no, Lena. That's what we're doing today. I just like the design. She's snide and adorable.
Well, she's not snide because of the stuff that she was dealing with.
Yeah,
And,
still there.
Yeah, I brain just completely just
Brain just pooted.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, good show, good characters. Again, how they brought her in as adults, of course, us watching it, we knew kind of what was coming, but just seeing how the twist was going to play out
Yep.
was really cool. As a little kid watching this, I think I would have caught on that there was something with her, but seeing
Oh, I'm certain I would
yeah,
have.
seeing the twist how they did it, I would have just kind of been like, whoa! And then along with that, when they did the whole how Magico was basically ejected out of her with the
Shadow vomiting.
yeah the,
Yeah.
the the bleeding shadows out of her eyes and vomiting out at the same time, and
I was not expecting that from DuckTales.
for kids.
Oh.
And that was really, I was impressed with that. I actually saw that scene before actually seeing it on play out, actually, because we were fairly late. We don't have cable, so we didn't get a chance to see the episodes as they were coming through. So a lot of the artists that I follow on Twitter are a lot of production, TV production artists and writers and animators and stuff. And so, of course, a lot of the DuckTales people I pop on every once in a while. And then, of course, a lot of the fan groups who follow them also. When new episodes would appear, they, of course, would put up various clips from the episodes. Thankfully, no spoilers most of the time. But they would put up clips as the show would come on or what it went through. And so I actually saw that clip of Webby just
Yeah, you showed that to me, and that was a clip where I went, not knowing anything about that show at all other than they'd redone DuckTales, and I don't know if I even knew that David Tennant was doing Scrooge McDuck at that point. But what I did know, I was like, oh, maybe it's good, maybe it's not. You showed me that, and I'm like, oh, this might actually be something new and actually exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Right on.
Well, I knew it was something different. This is, of course, from all the the hype it was getting from a lot of the animation community that I actually trust, because there's a lot of there's lots of stuff gets lots of hype and all that, and so a lot of times I won't even bother because it's getting hype
Yeah.
for hype's sake.
Because everything's hyped.
Because the internet is easily excitable as they are. And so when there are certain people and certain groups that when they mention something I pay attention to, and so certain particular groups were mentioning, oh, DuckTales is amazing, this is really cool. I'm like, all right, well, it looks really cool, and friends that I trust and stuff who were just like, yeah, this is a really great series, and you guys get a chance to watch it, do. And so like, oh, hopefully we will get a chance to watch it, because again, don't have cable and all that, and even when we did have cable, we didn't have the Disney channels and all. So thankfully, like now we're able to watch it because of streaming, and honestly, it was worth the wait. I'm glad that we got a chance
Yeah.
that we did watch it, because a lot of the because it came out in 2017, which wow, it doesn't seem like it's that old, but it is.
Is what it is.
Yeah.
Wish I had time to stay current with everything, but it's just not possible.
Well,
For me, anyway.
well, it's if you are glued to your TV watching stuff as it's coming out, then
Yeah.
sure. We haven't done that in a very long time.
I don't have time to.
Well, within the last year or so, we haven't done much of it, because we were doing that with a lot of the CW shows. We would watch it as it would come out and stuff, and a lot of the DC superhero shows and all that, or stuff that was premiering on streaming, we'd watch as it was being released. So we did do it. Just
It's been a while.
yeah. Exactly.
I'm saying, well, I'm not doing it currently,
Yeah.
you know. It's like, wow, right now I'm jumping between, and we just got done with DuckTales. I swear to God, I'm watching Bewitched right now, which was actually it was actually funnier than I remember it being as a kid. Some Space Ghost every once in a while, and shoot, there was something else that was actually fresh and new I was planning on starting up here. What was it?
Oh, we've been watching Milo Murphy's Law.
That was it. I was right. We started that last night. Milo Murphy's Law. Finally had a chance to get going on that. Funny. I really enjoy it. One of the things I like about it is they're not repeating the shticks from Phineas and Ferb. That's what, with maybe some exceptions of like in jokes and some little patterns and stuff, but overall they're creating like disaster comedy, which is great. So yeah, no, it's
Yeah, I mean, they've had a couple of Phineas and Ferb shout outs and stuff, and then
yes, they
later,
did.
And then later on, from what I understand, there is a crossover that happens, and I think like with the second season, they actually bring some of the characters
Sure.
from Phineas and Ferb into the show and all.
And that's fine, but what I'm saying is they didn't have like a small animal who was like a agent or a fighter fighting an evil guy. They just had DOG, which is just such an odd little character because he's almost like a Deus Ex Machina and a dog.
His full name is what you just said.
DOG, Deus Ex Machina?
DOG S Machina is his actual full name.
DOG. Really?
Yes.
Oh, wow, that's great. I see. The funny thing, I was so tired when I started it last night. They're like DOG, blah blah blah.
Go home.
And the first time I heard it, I was like, "What a strange name!" It didn't hear the letters DOG.
Yeah.
I just heard DOG, and I was like, and then after he said the second time, I went, "Wait!" And then the third time, I'm like, "Oh, dog."
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying is they're not repeating the same jokes. It's fine that they'll bring stuff in, but they're not
Yeah,
doing the same thing, which is super nice.
Yeah, which I hope not, because it's
Because it would be
different deal.
stupid, yeah.
Yeah. But
As
the
much
fact-
as I love Doofenshmirtz and
But the fact is that they're still in the show.
Sure.
The two time traveler guys are
I love those guys.
Swampy and oh come on, the guy who plays Doofenshmirtz.
Swampy and yes. Oh my God, we're both doing it on the same guy, and he's like really great.
Yeah.
The other creator.
Dan Povenmire.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I got the word Poggenmeyer not stuck in my head. How did that happen? It's a totally common name. He's the only dude I've ever heard of with this name. Does anyone else have this name?
Probably beside his kids.
Does he have children? Are they
Yes.
robots? You know.
But He has, I think he has at least 2 daughters, and they do videos with them every once in a while on Twitter. They're like they do like little funny skits and all that. I think they're like teenagers or something. So,
The Poglemeyers. The Doofenshmirtz. Is that possibly where he came up with it? Where he has this, he has like this kind of odd last name, and he goes, oh, "I'm tired of all the crap I got for having an odd last name. I'm going to use all the jokes with Doofenshmirtz, all the pain that I felt. I'm throwing into Doofenshmirtz." Yeah, we're completely off the topic of DuckTales at this moment, but
well, we can never stay on topic of our stuff for very long. We bring it back around and then go traveling again. That's the nature of the beast.
it's the thing.
Yeah, like talking about DOG. Yeah, that's actually been a old classic thing. I remember the first time I heard that. I think I was like 4th or 5th grade. There was a guy. We went to one of the nature camps in school or something, and the guy who was one of the guys who was running it had his dog was there, and his dog was named DOG, and
I have never heard this joke. Is this a common joke?
Yeah.
I have never.
There's
Wow.
also
I guess
the-
I just don't know a lot of people with dogs.
yeah, there's also the cat version called C80. C-A-T.
Haven't heard that one either.
Yeah. Yeah,
Get out, Eric. I don't want to. I don't want
Eric,
to.
go home.
Alright, go home. You're not supposed to be in the middle of the street.
But yeah, usually spelled like some, like almost fancy, not fancy, but some type of almost like Aboriginal or native type of way, like D-O or D-I-O-G or G-E-E or G-I or something like that. But yeah, D-O-G, dog. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
funny.
you did a good call. Yeah, DOG's full name is DOG Ex Machina.
Completely unaware of that. I was just watching the show going like, well, he's the Ex Machina. Because he kept doing it. Now, I mean, not every single time, but enough where he was a Deus Ex Machina that kept happening.
Yeah.
And the funny thing was, I just kept going like, and this is the one where I was off, and I was actually a little surprised I was that far off. I thought the guy doing Milo's voice was the guy just doing a new voice, but the guy that did Carl. Because it had that, like, kind of sound to
Tyler
it.
Mann, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, but because it didn't occur to me that Weird Al actually was doing the voice. I knew he did the opening, but I just assumed that they were like, "Hey, guy that did Carl, can you kind of sound like Weird Al?" And so I'm like watching, going like, "Man, he's doing a pretty good Weird Al." And I was so like certain it was him. I was like, well, because Carl's such a great character. I'm like, hey, they just gave him the main role on the next show. I love that guy, you know. But yeah, to actually have Weird Al's the main voice actor, that's really cool.
Yeah, it's I remember when they were talking about the show when it was coming out and stuff. And again, it's a show that premiered like it didn't seem like it was that long ago. But yeah, I think it's also like
Yeah. We've been through
like
so much in the last
like
couple
4 or
years.
5 years
Yeah.
old or so. It didn't get nearly as much hype, unfortunately, and right now they're only at 2 seasons because, as Pulvermeyer said, he's not sure if they'll even do another season because it's not getting the attention as they wanted. And so he's like, well, if it gets watched on ratings, or on streaming and gets good ratings from streaming and all, he's like, then we can consider it. But he's like, as of right now,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, that's the thing is sometimes even really good shows just still don't get watched as much as they should. You know, it's, you know, like for example, Star Trek was originally a failure on TV. And then it turned into a huge thing after they canceled it. They're like, this is garbage, get it off TV, no one's watching it. And the Pulgemeyer Marsh shows, and there's not like 1,000 of them, there's like 2 of them, and both of them are great. But Phineas and Ferb is kind of, I don't want to use the word legendary exactly, but it's a super solid show that a lot of people really love. And it's no doubt that still has a lot of play. So they kind of had an uphill battle in my mind against their own stuff. You know, so it's kind of like they had to beat Phineas and Ferb with their next show, which is tough. And the thing that I'm impressed with is they did the brave thing. Other than the same style, the same sort of humor, even in the tri-state area, bringing in some of the characters, the same reality, blah blah blah. It's not the same show. They, you know, even right down to the point of, at least so far, there's no characters in Milo Murphy's Law that I've seen that has the extreme shape abstraction that like Phineas and Ferb had. They just did the more, this is what common people look like from Phineas and Ferb, and went from there. Then they went the other direction again, like Milo's older sister almost looks like she's drawn in a different style. Like they're kind of taking it in a different artistic direction. Just character development wise, the backgrounds are relative, but they're not the exact same style of background.
Well, yeah, the
So
backgrounds-
they evolved.
the backgrounds are actually more realistic
Yeah.
to the point where
I actually like them better, to be
well,
honest.
just looking at them, they look like they were actual trace overs from actual areas.
It might have been.
Because there was the one scene where the crossing guard played by Christian Slater.
I was literally sitting there going like, is that Christian Slater? I'm like, and then you literally was like, a second later, you're like, that's Christian Slater. I was like, I was wondering if that was Christian Slater.
But the one scene where the what was like probably 15, 20 seconds of him getting attacked by the duck.
Oh my god. And part of him being attacked by the duck was pathetic stuff, like him just trying to get out of the water and the duck kind of watching him, and then the duck going at him again. It was like so sad. I was like, that poor guy, he sucks so bad that, and he's trying to be like such a big, like, you know, safety dude or whatever.
But yeah, that scene, that background, just looking at that background, because when all that was happening, I was just looking at everything, as well as laughing really good at that. Yeah, it looked like it was a trace over, which
Which is fine,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
it worked
yeah.
really well.
it did, and I'm like, hey, whatever gets it done, and
Yeah, exactly
especially
right.
if it's
They have a
certain
ton
on
of
it.
work to do. Why torture themselves getting it done?
Mm-hmm. And plus, anyway, chances are it probably was their own photos, and it's Disney who's going to argue.
Disney recycled its own animation. Disney has zero room to complain if they do some trace overs for backgrounds.
Right. But,
Which,
but
by the
yeah.
way, I am fully behind Disney cutting corners if that means that they could get their product out. So,
Well, even with that, we're going to a different subject now, with the recycling their animation, they did that on so many of their movies, and it wasn't for the fact that they were being lazy. That Disney was actually going into the hole.
yeah,
During
they
the
had to
time
get
period.
stuff done on a limited budget.
Yeah, and like during that time period, they literally were losing money on all of their movies and stuff, and so they had to like cut some corners. Like, okay, well,
Yeah, they were doing a little bit of Hanna-Barbera stuff.
yeah,
They were
and-
doing what they could just to get stuff done on the cheap.
right.
There's
and-
nothing wrong with that.
No, and it's funny because as of it probably pops up like every 3 or 4 months, some goober on the internet will pop up with the whole, hey, what's this, Disney, and then showing the whole recycling, and it's like and everyone's like,
Oh, you just discovered what everybody already knew for 40 years.
Yeah.
Good job, buddy. You just policed a major art company that has been around probably longer than you have.
but not only that, but it's like,
Thank God for snobs.
well, not only that, but it's like, well, first of all, are you doing this to actually have a discourse or actually have a discussion, or are you doing it because you want
Because
to
he's revealing things.
Well, mainly it's usually just people want to get Twitter points and they want to get
Yeah.
their accounts engaged, and that's usually
Lame.
what it is. Bringing up something
Lame.
stupid and controversial just to get people to.
Screw controversy. I'm
Yeah.
so sick of that.
And so.
Can we just be constructive and fun? I don't care if we find out that Walt Disney wore lady stockings. I don't care. I really don't. Who cares?
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, and so people will bring that up, and people just most folks just like, yeah, we've seen this already. This has already been discussed like
30 years ago.
not only 30 years ago, but 30 times this year already.
Yeah.
We've already seen it.
And in different languages. Who
Yeah,
cares?
it's just like, hey, it's like you want to see what else they did, and you want to actually have a discussion, we can have a discussion.
Hey,
And-
you want to talk about how they did far more stuff than you probably have ever done with your life? Oh, yeah, but you're going to complain about a couple times that they did something on the quick. Okay. I'm impressed with you.
It's usually some like younger person just once again trying to just get Twitter fans.
I love when somebody, and it's no offense, young people, but when somebody comes, I mean seriously, it's not, but it's so funny. It's just they come up and goes, "Well, have you heard of Run DMC?" Yeah. Like, oh, well, have you heard of Thundar the Barbarian? Yeah. Like, we're old. Who do you think that was made for? You know.
I think my favorite, and it wasn't that the guy was trying to do anything. That he was just surprised when I was working at the comic shop, and I had a Run DMC hoodie that I would wear when it was cold out.
That's the guy I was talking about.
Yeah. But and he looked at it. He was just like, hey, he's like, oh, you know Run DMC? And I was like, yeah. He's like, you. And his response was, you too young to know about Run DMC. And I just smiled at him. And
Thank you.
Yeah, I literally was like, oh, I was like, okay. I was like, right on, man. I was like, thanks for the compliment.
Thanks for the compliment. Yeah.
And
Usually people walk up to me and just go like, God, what were you born in the 60s? You know, that's what I'm like, oh.
thanks for the compliment, jerk. Way to go, a-hole.
Yep.
I think my other one is the one that was just like, just hit me right in the soul age junk. Was,
Soul age junk.
was when I was at a convention, and it was one of the meetups was for artists and stuff. So like, and I got invited to. I was like, okay, hang out and see what's going on. And on top of being the only female or the only chick there, and then being the only black chick there, I don't even know how the discussion happened, but started talking about music, and one of the youngins.
Oh, the youngins.
Yeah. Somebody. What was it? They were talking about something with music, and I was like, oh yeah, I know this song, blah blah, and we were talking. We were talking about techno music and all that, and so one of the youngins, he goes, oh, you know techno music? I was like, yeah, I like techno. Like I like, and it's like so.
And then he pulls up his pants. It's time for me to school somebody.
And he pulled out his phone and then goes, okay, well, what's this song? And starts playing Pump Up the Jam.
I was about to say, was it Pump Up the Jam?
And I, of course, just kind of listened, and like not even a second. I'm just like, it's.
So you didn't even go for like a hard one, like some barely known, I don't know, Lords of Acid or something.
But we were talking about like old school stuff, and so I was like, yeah, yeah, dude, this is
Pump
techno.
Up the Jam.
And I kind of started chuckling, and then the what got me the age soul junk kick was somebody in the back just goes, hey, my dad has that song on CD.
Oh yeah, yeah. That is the stuff right there.
I was like, ah.
There you go. That's the stuff.
And I looked around that room and I'm just like, you know what? Like everybody here could be my
suck
kid. I'm just like, I could these everybody here could be my kid. Literally, I'm just like, huh, wow.
Oh, wow.
That pretty much was. I was like, all right, I think I'm good. I think I left probably about 15, 20 minutes afterwards because they had like alcohol, and I'm not a drinker, so I'm just like,
Yeah, that
okay.
kind of that kills a party
Yeah,
for me.
well,
I know what that sounds like to some people, but it really does. It's so lame.
Yeah, and if people want to do that, that's cool.
It's
not my-
whatever you
yeah,
want, really.
Not
But
my thing. So I was like, all right, well, guys, thanks for the invite. I'm
I'm
out.
like, if y'all need alcohol to have fun, honestly,
More power
that's
to
kind.
you.
Yeah. It's like, hey, you go do your thing. But I'm just like,
Yep. Not
I don't need stuff to have
Yeah.
fun.
Exactly. Not my thing. Not my jam. And
You go do your
yeah,
thing.
Yeah,
I
if
just,
y'all want to do that.
I mean, I'm not like judging anyone. I'm just going like, that's the number one thing that has ruined stuff for me. You're like, oh, we're doing that, huh? Okay.
Yep. But anyway, so back to DuckTales.
Woo. I adore the fact that the first episode's title was DuckTales. Oh, woo woo. I was like, oh, okay. Some people who really love DuckTales is working on this.
Well, like I said, a good chunk of the people really were Disney fans and Disney Afternoon fans, and which is why we see a lot of the like a lot of like Disney Afternoon characters and stuff pop up there every once in a while. They were just like, yeah, this is literally our love letter to Disney Afternoons. A lot of the stuff that we watched growing up, and
Yeah, I just love the fact that they brought Darkwing Duck and Tailspin stuff in.
and there's
And Gummy Bears.
yeah.
Yeah, that was really cool. I was like, nice, guys.
From what I understand, in season 3, from what has been already released and all, I mean,
Rescue Rangers?
yeah,
Is there? Or nice?
they make a cameo. Goof Troop, Goofy and Max make a cameo. We already saw, I think, or there's going to be a thing talking about the Wuzzles. And I think we already saw something regarding that.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, talk about
I almost forgot about that
yeah.
one.
There's like a ton of Disney properties. They just went, yeah, we're gonna have fun with it.
See, what I would like, and not to say that this is better or worse, just it's different, but I'd like to see it. Somebody doing a project like this, because Mystery Inc. is on the same list, where somebody took an old show and then they did a love letter series to it, and they did a show better than the original because they were like, no, we're going to do the greatest version of Scooby-Doo or DuckTales. I want to have somebody do that to one of the Hanna-Barbera action series. You know, Johnny Quest or Herculoids or Space Ghost. And then there's a bunch of ones that might be good, but they're a little sillier, but still they could work.
I've been wanting to see a really like awesomely done Thundar for like. the
Thundar
longest.
is... Well, the reason why I didn't say that one was that's... I want to do that.
That's mine.
That's for me.
That's mine. Shut up. Shut up, dude.
Yeah, I look at Thundar. I'm like, everything about Thundar. I'm not saying it's a perfect show. I'm just saying there's only one Thundar the Barbarian. I like myself some He-Man and She-Ra and Conan and blah blah blah. They're great. Thundar is better. It's just everything about Thundar is just the right level of just goofy and wrong and.
Thundar touched you personally.
Thundar had a NASA wizard, which was a floating 2,000-year-old radioactive brain, and he brought NASA scientists back to build him a robot body, and there was everything about it was ridiculous and perfectly ridiculous. Just a lovely, ridiculous show. You know. There's a giant boa constrictor / grizzly bear monster. Lovely. I just lovely. I just love that silly, ridiculous. And they always did it with like a straight face. At least almost always. There's a couple times where they winked at the camera, but most of the time they were just like, no, deal with it. We know it's strange. Just keep rolling with it, kids. I'm like, yeah, you keep doing the thing, you know.
Yeah, one of the ones, my one that I would like to see, and if I could, I wouldn't do it because I just wouldn't know, but I would love to see them redo one of their newer series, newer, was Pirates of Dark Water. I
would like to see that done better because I remember watching that and thinking that there were moments that were really cool. but having a hard time watching the show, to be honest. Like, I just saw all this potential, but it never caught me. So it's like I always wanted it to. Because I had a bunch of fans that were Pirates of Dark Water fans.
Bunch of friends who were Pirates. Bunch of friends who were Pirates of Dark Water fans. You said a bunch of fans who were Pirates of Dark Water fans.
Yes.
Yeah,
You got me.
Yeah, and I was one of them. I loved that show, and it was really fun. My only complaint was that they made it so saturated with the colors, which I think
The colors are one of the things that turned me off.
which I think they did it on purpose for whatever reason.
That
but,
was a weird decision.
yeah, but other than that, I love the characters. I love the show, and it was sad that it only lasted for like I think 13 episodes or so, because they were really going with a really good story, and they actually like towards the end, I was really surprised with what they did with the characters, because of course the whole thing was about Dark Water, which was this living blob of stuff that lived in the
Yeah.
sea, of course.
Well, I thought it was neat. Like I said, I didn't think it was terrible. It just didn't catch me. I thought there was neat stuff in it.
Yeah, and what I love was like towards the end, they were actually trying, like, getting some understanding as to what this stuff really was. And one of the group, the lady character, Tula, was it Tula? Yeah, I want to say it was Tula because it was.
That sounds
yeah,
right to
'cause
me.
It was Ren was the kid, or the main guy. Shoot, the pirate guy. Which I'm blanking on his name. I think yeah, Tula was the girl, or was the lady. She actually like falls overboard, and I can't remember if like it was a fight or something, but she goes overboard, and actually falls into the dark water, and when it was actually quite not gruesome, but I was like, holy crap, they did that. When she fell in, she's like screaming for her life as she's getting pulled down into this stuff, and like yelling for Ren to help her, and like literally clawing out as he's trying to claw her, like grab her and stuff from above, and she just gets pulled the heck down. And they're like, oh crap. 'Cause the way they made it look like she actually like died horribly.
Maybe she did.
Actually, she didn't. Like I said, it was part of the
Maybe
story.
she didn't.
Yeah, she didn't. But what it was is that she got pulled down under the sea, and oh shoot, how did it go? Because when she got pulled down, she was, I don't know if it was like a clone or something, but the way she was talking was really strange. It's like she absorbed some of this, or she absorbed some type of weird power or something like that. But yeah, they stopped it after that, and just I'm like, can we know what happened? And I know there was a comic series, a short run comic series that went along with it. But I was like, can we like seeing this would be a really fantastic. If they would just give that another try, that could be a really great show. If somebody would just go, hey, this is a great property, I was just letting it sit here. Can we do something with it that doesn't suck? That's all I ask. But yeah, that's one I'd like to see them tackle again. Yeah, Lena's looking good.
Yeah, she ain't bad.
Okay, now when they brought her back, now she actually is a living creature again now, right? Or
Well, I don't think they've directly answered that.
because I know when
I think she's gained her independence, but I don't know if it's a permanent sort of.
what I'm
thing.
saying is she an actual like solid thing, and she's
I
not.
don't know.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I don't think they've directly said. Like I said, I think she's gained her independence, but I don't know if it's like permanent or if she's a magical creature or if she's flesh and blood or what she is.
Yeah, 'cause I know they
But
pulled her out of
she's-
the shadow realm. Yeah.
She's definitely, taken magic to spells sorcery.
And like Magica was trying to fight back, and she first of all was like, wow, they actually took her coloring and made her like look like the original Magica with like the.
Well, that's what
like,
yeah.
so-
No, they did.
Yeah.
They did great stuff. I was like, "Go, she's great looking green." but she's supposed to be white. And then she lost all of her magic and they turned her back into the white version. I was like, perfect.
There you
We're
go.
good. We're good. That does exactly what I needed it to do.
That, and apparently, like you said, she's loaded when they did the whole thing with Glomgold and teaming up. And she, what was like her, like $1 million check?
It was $1
$1
billion.
billion check.
She wrote him $1 billion check. There was zeros on that thing. So, magic and a spell. She could have just bought herself a gun. I'm not advocating gun violence. I'm just saying if you're trying to kill somebody with magic and you got $1 billion and you lose your magic, you have other options.
To be fair, Scrooge has pretty much outwitted them on every and any single thing. I mean, I don't think a gun would stop him.
I don't not know. I've never seen one pull one on him. Maybe that's the secret. Like he's unstoppable unless you do something really obvious. You know, like you kick him in the ankle really hard. Oh, lost my bagpipes. You kicked me in the ankle.
I love Glomgold. You're gonna have to,
Oh, Glomgold is
we should put
hilarious.
him on the list at some point, but man,
Oh my God.
he's
He's so broken.
Oh, see, he's so unbalanced. Oh man. Glomgold. He's actually South African.
They developed him into a really interesting, hilarious character. It never occurred to me he was South African.
Yeah.
It never occurred to me that they would even say South Africa in DuckTales. They would say a specific country or a city or whatever that has like a temple or whatever in it. You might get that, but to actually say, no, he's South African, and then give him the South African accent, I was going like, wow, they put some thought into this.
Yeah, I gotta look and see if that's actually was the original. take
Maybe
on
it
him
was.
from,
I don't know.
From Carl Barks and Don Rosa was the other guy who did a lot of the DuckTales stuff. So I have to look and see if that was one of if that's his actual origin or so. Because if it is, I'm thoroughly impressed. But I mean, I'm impressed with the fact that they did that anyway. But man, and every time his beard gets blown off, he has an extra that he puts back on.
I just love the fact that he's a counterfeit Scotsman. It's just so ridiculous. Like he hates Scrooge McDuck so much that he has just taken his entire life and turned it into basically like performance art.
Yeah.
It's just like he's so damaged.
Yeah, I've been waiting for the one true Scotsman joke to pop up at some point.
One true Scotsman.
Yeah, the world and the lore that they built up for the show is absolutely amazing. And, yeah, it's one of those shows where like I'm sad to see that it ended, but I'm glad that we're actually watching it because we're getting some really quality entertainment and stuff. It makes me happy to be an animation fan.
Yeah. Well, plus they did interesting things in the art direction. I mean, everything character and story aside, they did interesting art direction stuff. I just love the fact that because of the HD, years ago when HD came out, an old friend of mine used to watch a ton of anime. He's like, I don't see the point in getting this stuff in HD because it doesn't really add to it. And at the time I was kind of like, well, it sort of does, but he also has a point. You're not getting that much more information. DuckTales is the first time I've seen them really address the fact you're watching this cartoon on this mammoth screen at such high resolution. You're seeing halftone patterns and stuff, and you're seeing like the texture in the pencil lines, and you're legitimately seeing information. And I'm like, that's cool. That is really cool.
Yeah, that's the throwback to the comic stuff.
Yeah, exactly right.
And I just hope that season 3 comes here soon. Because I know, like I said, the season finale is coming up in March on I think Disney XD. And for some bizarre reason, the UK Disney streaming is going to be getting it before the United States gets the streaming. Like
Whatever.
yeah, I'm really baffled by that. Really, I am.
Well, it was like Destroy All Humans 3 when that originally came out. They were like, you know what? We're going to give it to the entire planet, except for the United States. So like everyone else on the planet got to play the third installment of Destroy All Humans. But for whatever reason, they wouldn't sell it here. They wouldn't even make it available. All they had to do was turn the key to American and then have it available on their site. Well, we only sold a couple thousand. You're still sold a couple thousand. Who cares? But they wouldn't. That's what it's like. I don't get corporate people. They make 0 sense to me. It's like, you want to make money, don't you? Well, how about you do that? You know, no. We can only make money in certain ways. Okay, I'll agree with you if you're referring to legally, but beyond that, who cares?
Yeah.
Well, we didn't do it our way. I don't care.
Yeah, it's that stupid thing of, well, if we do this, we're not going to make enough money. Well, what is exactly enough money? Like, is enough money, like, you're not going to make $4 or $5? Is that what it is? Because I'll give you $4 or $5. And I mean, like you said, the people who actually went through the first series and bought everything else, chances are they're going to buy the next installment.
Yep.
And like, if you just,
I was going to.
yeah, it's like if you made the thing, you might as well sell it. Why not? I mean,
So instead, they gave us a different Destroy All Humans game that was on a handheld system, which is fine. But I don't play handheld systems, so I was kind of going like, again, you want money? I have money. I'll give you money. And it's just, I don't get it. I don't get it. I wish I did, but I don't. All right, so she's cutie.
yeah,
Squeeze her cheeks, make her quack. Blah blah blah.
that's a good job of her.
Yeah, it's not bad. All right.
We've already
It has been a long week, and we have gotten to the moment that is either meta or just wrong.
Yeah, but to say we've already seen what happens, so
We already see what happens between Magica De Spell and her super cute shadow when we stick them back together again. There we go. Those two are one again. Okay. Weird. All right. Woo! One shot. All right. Everyone, have yourself a good week. We will catch you later.